Been kind of having a rough time lately. Not even gonna do an intro to the stream. Not even gonna have the music. I just want to listen to my own music that I was listening to before I started the stream. And so, that means there's gonna be no sound on the stream. Gonna be very low energy stream. I'm so sorry, you guys. Maybe that'll change. Who knows? But I'm just gonna be doing some tactics. I might not even be talking about positions. I'm just gonna be doing chess puzzles. Okay, so um yeah, I mean, I just thought I would stream anyway just cuz I feel so alone and really just kind of feeling like really terrible right now, and sometimes streaming helps, like completely, like for real, sometimes streaming really helps. And I'm just gonna try to not stream the way I usually do, which I try to be really involved and really engaged. Um, but instead, I'm just going to just gonna be doing some tactics. It's been crazy. I don't even want to talk about it. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in this country, and I don't even want to get into it right now. I just want to like not engage for once. Like for once, I just want to like try to only focus on the activity. And I'm sorry, the only way I know how to stream is to completely engage with chat and completely engage with viewers. And if I try to go 100% focus on game, we're gonna lose interaction. There's gonna be a lot of dead air. It's just it's got to be that way right now. It's just one of those days, you guys. Um, Let me adjust it. We're in puzzle mode right now. Okay, good to go. I'm just doing the simplest possible puzzles right now. Just really trying to get basic visualization. I like to keep my hand off the mouse. Like I usually like to keep my hand off the mouse, and I put the mouse pointer back to the bottom of the screen after every single puzzle. It just helps me focus and visualize better. This is pretty much... This stream is like a showcase of what I do when I'm not streaming. If that makes any sense. This is how I work on puzzles and play chess when I'm not engaging with Twitch chat. Anyway, but it's weird because I kind of am, but I don't know. It feels like more of a thinking out loud kind of thing. Oh. Yeah. Because like when I hover my mouse, I feel like I'm just in a rush, and it's like when I just put the mouse at the bottom of the screen and only move the mouse when I'm ready to move the piece. To me, it's like hovering your mouse over the screen is like hovering your hand over the board. And that's not generally a good idea. In Blitz, it's a little different, but yeah, when I'm playing rapid and classical, I try not to hover the mouse. And when I'm doing tactics. Yeah. I don't I don't really one of those trying to get through the day streams rather than trying to be entertaining. I apologize. Sometimes I just need to stream for myself and not for some kind of entertainment. I have my own reasons. Oops. I mean, there's lots of reasons to stream. Yes. Don't know what that was. There's like a. It was probably nothing. It just felt like a crumb or something. Like I don't know. I don't know what it was. Like honestly, could have been a dinosaur. Oh, nice. Uh, it's okay. We'll have coffee in an hour. It's all good. It's just one of those days. Like not even sure what I'm even doing anymore. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't, I said I wasn't going to get into it because it's like everybody knows what I'm talking about because of what's been going on in the United States right now. I really don't feel like I can add anything to the conversation right now. And I don't want to. Like, sometimes I just want to play. I think, it's like I found my breaking point. Like usually I talk about real life stuff and political stuff, and I just like there's a certain breaking point. Hey, Evil T. Yeah, I apologize for the low energy stream today. Might pick up later, but it's just so worn out, so exhausted, tired of politics. It's not even politics at this point. It's just a clown fiesta. It's Yeah, I've seen The Queen's Gambit. It's amazing. I really like the pacing. Like I like the pacing of the storytelling and the angles of the camera, like with the color, like the dark colors, and like the character development was really good. A very good show. Like it was not just good like chess wise. If I want to be honest, it felt like watching like an anime or something. Like it was just like it was really like in depth. Would you like to play a game? I mean, I've just been doing puzzles for a little bit. I'm trying not to get worked up, and playing a game might work me up, so I apologize. Like I said in the title, it's one of those days, and no, let's play a game. It's fine. Um, it was just mostly because I adjusted. I adjusted that, and I didn't feel like adjusting it. It's like, yeah, it's okay, Evil T. It's just one of those days. I'm not really feeling super high energy today, but I do feel like streaming. It's a weird thing. Well, you like these kind of pawns? Yeah. I mean, it just makes me feel like I'm not alone. And it also just reminds me, like, having the camera on and having the light on, it just reminds me that, like, that I'm not alone. There's just, like, some kind of mental thing about it. I might not talk about positions this stream. Like, I'm not gonna, like, not really gonna talk too much. In about an hour, I'll get some coffee. We'll see how things go at that point. But at the moment, it's just like I'm like brain dead. Like just so exhausted. But like I can't just be like I'm not gonna do anything because then I'll never do anything. Do you know what I mean? Like people say, oh, take time off, do this thing. And then it's like, well, if I do that, I'll always take time off. And so I have to force myself to do something. Even if it might not be the most entertaining stream, I'm doing this for myself today. It's it's to have that consistency. Like do something even when you don't feel like it. And I do feel like it. I'm feeling like chess right now, but I'm not feeling like being like streamer mode. You know what I mean? Like I'm just kind of boring Rebecca mode right now. Like almost as if I'm not streaming. Just pretend like I'm not streaming. I almost feel like obviously not at the moment, but I feel like the way I feel right now while I'm streaming, I feel like I'm approaching like a new balance where it's like I'm not trying to like I don't know. I don't know how to say it like cuz it's not quite like the words I was thinking, not quite what I wanted to convey like Because the words I was thinking was like, I don't have to put on a mask, but the thing is I don't really wear a mask online. Well, wear a mask in public because of COVID, but I mean like a figurative mask. I don't wear a figurative mask. I've always worn my heart on my sleeve. I've always like, said what I feel and feel what I say and say what I mean and mean what I say. And sometimes, sometimes things are wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I need to adjust things. I didn't see the bishop. Not sure what I was thinking. Mm. Uh, Uh, always something in the way. Jeez. It's like I just want like a clear path for my feet. It's like, jeez. I don't want all this like freaking plastic and shit on the floor. Damn it. What the fuck is all this shit? Like, all this fucking shit always in the way. Mm. Oh. Yeah, as much as it's helpful with the glucometer that I have attached, it still feels like there's this little teeny, like there's like a literal like sensor attached to my body, and it's like it just feels like it's not technically a needle. It's more like a it, it's kind of like a metallic. It's like it's hard to say. It's like a cassette tape ribbon. Like audio, like a really small, thin, like wire. And it's injected into me with this like Serter thing. They call it a Serter. And it's like it's like it's always there. And if I lay on my side, like it's like it pushes into me. And it's like I need it though, because it's giving me the most accurate and consistent information about my blood sugar, and I need to have level blood sugar because if it goes too high, I get into mood swings. If it goes too low, I get into mood swings. And the reason why it's like that is because if I try to get out of a low, I might eat too much to compensate, and then it goes high, and then I have to take more insulin, and then it might go low again. But using the glucometer, like I have like I just have to look at my phone, like to have like at a glance. Like right now it's 148. Um, I should probably check it to calibrate. It's not due right now, but if I the thing is like I need to always remember to calibrate before I go to bed any day. Like or if I don't want to get annoyed by the alert because the alert's so loud. Yeah, the alert's like so loud. Your threat was hard to find. Well, I knew the threat of queen takes h2 check, but it was easily fixed with the rook. Or you could have played h3. Now I'm trying to look to see if I had something else if h3, but I don't. I don't think so. Because I don't think there was anything else that was threatened. That's why I didn't think that queen h6 was that good of a move. Because it didn't really threaten anything that could be dealt with. And now I've traded off material and I'm down I mean, I traded pieces and I'm down material. So it's no good. I was trying to create counterplay, but instead it's 136. See, it's not that far off. Like it's not as accurate as doing an actual like blood reading with a test strip, but I use both of them in conjunction because it's like if I'm feeling if I just look at a glance what the blood sugar are, I can be like, oh, I'm feeling a little wonky, and the numbers kind of don't indicate that, so I should double check. Because sometimes I feel wonky for different reasons. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. It's gonna be mate now. GG. There you go again. Yeah. It's just interesting because you're guarding against the knight. With these moves, like um, maybe I'll try something different. And that saves the pawn. Mm. Hey, thanks for the follow, Eskimo. I have to give you a heads up. It's a very low energy stream today. I feel like I need to stream for personal reasons today. Just not really, obviously I'm gonna try, but I'm not gonna really like try to force myself to be entertaining right now, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I gotta hydrate. I need to refill my water bottle. I'll be right back. My little pillow. My pillow's always here. Hmm. I like my pillow. Hmm. I'll be right back. Need water. Got some Pete's coffee. It's pretty good. I like it. And it's estrogen time. The pen keeps on like retracting. It's weird. Come on. Freaking pen. Well, another day. Another beautiful day. More estrogen added. And by the way, is the audio okay? Because I've been talking kind of quietly. I don't want it to be too soft or too loud. I'd like it to be clear, even when I'm talking quietly. But not like it even matters. It's making some coffee, and I have some eggs like with spinach, like kind of poaching, like on really low heat. I bumped that glucometer again. It's ridiculous. Like I just barely bump it. It feels like I'm like pulling on stitches or something. You know, like I know it's the depression talking, but like sometimes it just feels like who am I even like why am I it's like why even bother, you know, like with anything, but it's like I don't really feel excitement about like much like I'm like what's the point? But then I know that that's depression talking and so I can have mind over matter. You know, just because I feel like there's no point, I need to be aware that that's just depression. Okay. Hi, Sir Vertiger. Sir Vertiger. Sir Vertiger. Skrtiger. Depression cured. Sir Vertiger. Sir Vertiger. Third for tracks for sure. Third for tracks for sure. What the hell? Mm. Mm. My pillow. You're absurd clown. Mm. Pillow. Pillow. Aww. Pillow doesn't have negative thoughts. Pillow just has pillow thoughts. No, I'm not really into drag. It seems like that's like a guy thing. I don't know. It's just I'm not really. It's I'm just not really into it. Not really into drag. It's fascinating. You know, guys dressing up and putting on all that crazy makeup. No, drag is definitely a guy thing because drag is men dressing up in complete glamour. And it's just not, I've never really been into the whole like I really like theater, but like the whole like show tune thing, I've never really been into. Oh, good for you. I mean, I've always known drag to be like men. It's not a trans thing. Yeah, it's one of those streams. Sleepy stream. Sleepy Rebecca. Yeah, I don't want to argue with you. I'm glad that you like drag. I'm just not really into it. I'm also, I really like musicals, but I don't, I'm not into it the way like the theater kids always were. There I was a band kid, and then there's like, either you're a band kid, a choir kid, or a theater kid. You know what I mean? Like I was never a theater kid. I didn't like doing all that stuff. I was like, I have an instrument and I'm gonna be a part of the music. And all the other stuff, not to say it's bad, it's just I'm not really into that energy, like of doing all that stage prep, doing all that. I've always been fascinated by acting, but honestly, I don't think I would ever be good at it. You're an acting student? That's amazing. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, I went to college for music and jazz studies. It's I don't know. I have my own balance. Like in the end of the day, we're all individual people and we have our own balance and we have our own understanding of things. There is this like line, and I don't want to judge people because people enjoy their college experience, but like I almost felt like some people like were still acting like they're in high school. Where in high school, you're like a band kid or a theater kid, like with quotes, like you're not just a like you're not a person who's in band, you're a band kid. You know what I mean? Like or a theater kid, like that's your entire existence and that's your entire identity. And like I remember in college there was people who were still doing that. They hung out like next to the theater, on the steps. And I understand like, that they're all working together, and maybe it's just something I don't quite understand. But and to be honest, like I was no different. I hung out in the practice room like 12 hours. Like I was there from 7 in the morning until like 8 p.m. So I was there for like 11 hours a day in the music building, only leaving to go get hot water for my oatmeal and coffee. I had instant coffee and oatmeal. You sent me a challenge. Well, I'll finish this game up with tea, evil tea, and then I can play you. We're just finishing up this game. I'm feeling a little bit more awake. I'm having some coffee. It's just I also need to not remember. I need to not forget that the stove is on. But it's on super low and it's got like water. It's like very like safe. Like it's not like I'm not like making toast, you know? Like is it classical? No, it's just untimed. We're just playing really casually today. It's a really sleepy stream. Like I said, I apologize for the low energy. It's just sometimes, you know, like I was in a very weird mood and I'm just working on chess and I don't really feel like being super like high energy right now, high octane. I but I wanted to stream because I felt really alone. And I thought like, you know, if I'm going to be working on chess, I can do that in front of the camera, you know. Like why not? It's just I didn't want to listen to the DMCA free music, so there's no music on stream right now. I got my own music, so I apologize for the silence. Feel free to listen to your own music. I'm not going to put music on the stream. I kind of want to foster that environment on my stream anyway. I kind of don't want to play music on my stream at all. I would prefer if people listen to their own music because then they get to set their own vibe, you know? Like, I don't want to be controlling people's vibe. Like, if you like to listen to death metal while you're listening to my stream, like, I mean, that would be interesting. Like, the contrast of, like, I'm listening to, like, lo fi hip hop and, like, somebody's listening to death metal with, like, screamo, you know? Like, well, I appreciate it, Sir Gerziger, but I don't always like listening to you know, to the same music. I want to listen to different music, and some of the music I want to listen to is not very DMCA, not 100% DMCA safe. I never want to risk it, you know? Especially since, like, even, like, some of the big top streamers were still getting DMCA'd, so you know, if they aren't safe, what chance do I have, you know? And, you know, obviously, if it was up to me, I would have kept all the music that I was playing on stream before. I was listening to Rainwave Game Radio. You're an absurd clown. Yes, you told me that already. Okay. Yeah, I mean, your name is absurd, so that makes sense. Absurd clown. I apologize, clown. Do you want me to just call you absurd clown all the time, or is it okay to call you clown or absurd? I can call you absurd, if that's okay with you. I'm kind of upset because I thought I had sausage in the fridge, but I only had like eggs and spinach, and so that's what I'm making. Mm. Okay. Well, as long as you're comfortable. I don't like to create bad vibes. Sometimes I end up doing it, and I really hate it when it happens. I really wish, ah! I really wish that I didn't always. I wish that I didn't sometimes create really bad vibes. It's like I'm trying to be like soft. I want to be soft like my pillow. Mm, pillow. Pillow. Mm-hmm. Hi, Pillow. Mwah. Hi. You're my pillow. Hi, Pillow. Mm. Good morning, Pillow. Give me a hug. How long do I play chess? It's it's weird. It's been in stages. I played when I was like I'm turning 33 on January 15th. I'm almost 33 years old. But I learned when I was like 9 or 10, maybe 8, I don't know. Twitch changed my name to this strange thing. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Um but I didn't really play that much. I did because my dad got me a chess computer from Radio Shack. And I played that computer like it feels like I played it like every day, but I don't know. My sense of time from back then is weird. I think that's a pretty normal thing. You know, it's a long time ago. I was like 10 years old, like that was 23 years ago. It's crazy. But like I only played against chess computer for a while. Then I kind of just like kind of fell out of chess. I came back to chess around the time I was 21, because it's kind of a terrible part of my life. That's when I was partying all the time, and then I ended up being homeless. And I would go to the library and just play chess on FICS, the free internet chess server. And I would play like every day, like all day. And I didn't really do any tactics. I didn't read any chess books. But then, I did that for like a year or two, like basically casually. Hey, Mega Mikey, oh my god. It's good to see you again. It's been so long. Hey, Mikey. But I kind of came back in 2013. Like from 2010 to like 2011, I did a lot of chess, but around 2011 to 2013, I switched over to studying Japanese again, and then studying Mandarin Chinese. Is cereal soup? I mean, technically, I think it is, but yeah, I missed you too, Mega Mikey. You're my Mega Million. Pillow. Okay. Ah, sorry about that. I had to take the lid off of my food. It's gonna like just slowly, um, the water is gonna slowly like evaporate and stuff. It's not soup. You tell him, MPG. It's not soup. To be a soup, it needs to be boiled with meat, fish, or vegetables. Now, I guess if you count broth as a meat or a vegetable, because you could just have like broth soup, or is that not a soup? But what about grain? Like, like noodle soup. Like noodles are like a grain. They're not a vegetable or a meat or a fish. What about vodka? Is that soup? It's just like have some vodka soup. You know, it's how the Russians do it. Everybody talks about like Russians drinking vodka. I don't know how true that is. Like it feels kind of weird to like claim that like an entire group of people is just drunk all the time. Like it's kind of sketch. I did not play chess like 6 months. That's why I wasn't on chess stream. It's okay. Life happens. It's no worries. I've been going through a lot. I'm having a hard time lately. Been in a state of deep depression. I've been streaming a lot less, but I've been doing chess off stream, but I was doing a lot of chess tactics, and so I decided to just start the stream because I just I don't want to be alone. What's the most ridiculous fact you know? It's actually a tough one. It's the most ridiculous fact I know. That's a tough one. I have to think about that for a while. Don't tell me moves, please, absurd clown. No moves in the chat. I mean, a4 does give an escape square, but I didn't. I'm trying to get the queen away from the queen side, actually. So let's go here, because I don't want to be stuck on this diagonal. Because there's 3 pawns here. I was 1900 Elo, and when I came back, I forgot too much things. That happens. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, make sure to Botez Gambit any chance you get. It's how you win. but what? But what? Hmm. um, you're so tired to learn again. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you gotta make sure to do tactics. I've been doing a lot of tactics, and I noticed that after doing a lot of tactics every day, I was able to get my chess.com bullet rating from 700 to 1100 in like an hour and a half. So I know that like it's possible for me to rise up in rating. It's just really, it takes a dedicated effort, you know? It's like, what is something that everyone looks stupid doing? Um what is something that everything looks stupid do? Everyone looks stupid doing? Streaming chess. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Raiders. Oh my god, you guys. Wow. 46 Raiders from Chess Guy. Well, I hope you had a good stream. I Well, that perked me up a little bit. Thanks for that. You know what? Sometimes we gotta work together. Although I do have to apologize. Today is just one of those days, and I don't know how entertaining I can be. I'm gonna try to be engaging with the chat as always, but I'm like in like sitting back and drinking coffee mode right now, and we're gonna try to keep things. I'm gonna try to keep things going. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Maybe I could just like stream while I'm lying down. Who knows? Like maybe that's good enough for you guys. But yeah. Welcome. Short introduction. My name is Rebecca Lauren. I am a trans woman. Um, I'm very proud of my gender and I'm proud of the progress I've made in my life. It's taken me a very long time to get to where I am right now. So I earned these boobs, okay? So don't shame me. But yeah, I've been playing chess basically my whole entire life, but never seriously until I started teaching chess in 2018, and then I started streaming in 2019 in the summer. And then I had a mental breakdown because of other reasons, because of I was teaching chess, and I had a mental breakdown, and it's because I was denying myself my gender identity, and it's a big deal. It got really bad, and I was hospitalized, and then I got sober, and then uh I forced my way back into my doctors, and got into therapy, started hormones, and it's been about a year and 3 months now on hormones, on estrogen, and it's been really rough, but it's going in the right direction, because like I was at a place where I was living in complete like toxic behavior and toxic attitude, and everything about my life was toxic. Not everything, but it was pretty bad, and I wasn't able to hold a job. And honestly, I was diagnosed with autism spectrum, and so it's been pretty hard. And we're applying for SSI because I just, I'm in a deep state of depression right now. So that's why I had to warn you that, if you're just joining from a raid, this is not really typically the kind of energy I have in my streams, so I feel really bad, and I'd like to try to force it, but forcing is not always a good idea, and it does create like some inauthentic content, I think, and I'd rather just be myself. That's usually what I do, is I just kind of be myself. I'm from Sonoma County in California, so I've been here all my life. It's like wine country. There's like there's like there's it's where like the Charles Schultz Museum is. Although I don't know if that his home, I don't know if that burned down in like 2016 or 2017 I think it was 2017 when the Kincaid fires happened. Yeah, California has been pretty rough, but things are, I don't know. We're out of fire season, and COVID is the biggest problem, obviously, everywhere else. And I don't know. It just sucks because I have no idea when I'll be able to get SSI. There's like one packet that we have to fill out with my therapist and with my case manager, and um, well, that's sad. Yeah, that really should change. Um, yeah, people don't deserve to be tortured and murdered just for being who they are. It's really sad how that works out in a lot of places in the world. Here in California, it's a very progressive state, and the taxes are higher, and it's expensive to live here. But honestly, this is the safest place I can possibly be. I feel, a lot of things happen when you start transitioning. A lot of all of your privilege goes out the window. Well, thank you, Cranky Monkey. Cranky Monkey. A lot of your privilege, like almost all of your privilege, like I'm still white. so I still have that privilege, but like, it's just which is terrible that white privilege is real, but it's definitely real. Um, I have to take ownership of it and understand it and be anti-racist. That's the biggest thing. But all my male privilege went out the window, and there's just places on the planet that I could just never go to now. And that sucks because I'm a chess player. I would like to travel the world and play chess. And maybe there's a safe way to do that in the future. Who knows? Because maybe I don't know. It's like I have to it's like I have to like hire bodyguards or something like that. Like, imagine going to like a country where they torch LGBT people to play chess, and I would have to have like my own private jet. I would have to have like my own like secret service. Like, oh, don't do that. I'm gonna time you out for a while. Yeah, don't talk about that stuff. Yeah, trying to keep things positive here. My life is hard enough, and um, yeah, I mean it's very touchy topics, and I do talk about that. But I mean, actively, reach out somewhere besides Twitch for help in that area. Because I know what it's like. I know what it's like, and I know you might not be in the right mindset right now to reach out, but I can't have it on my Twitch channel. I'm sorry. I'll see you when you get back, if you come back. Ignore if you don't want to talk about it, but have you tried antidepressants? So I was on a myriad. I tried a whole bunch of different antidepressants over the years. Honestly, the most effective thing was just forcing my well, not well, yeah, was forcing myself to go forward with my gender transition. That was the biggest thing. That started to make things a lot better, like as far as my depression went. Although I still have to take mood stabilizers. So in the mood stabilizer, I take Lamictal. Um, the mood stabilizer has probably been the most helpful thing I've ever taken for my depression. Even though it's not specifically because the SSRI inhibitors, either they work or they don't. And there's pretty and my psychiatrist was telling me that if you've gone on several SSRI inhibitors, or whatever, SSRIs, if you go on several SSRIs and they're not effective, it's pretty much like different SSRIs are basically not going to help you, because it's not that's not the problem. Like, there's a different problem, and for me it's basically a lot of different factors. But going through talk therapy with a very compassionate and understanding therapist who has direct experience and years of experience with LGBT people, specifically with trans people, and she's great and she's amazing, and I don't know where I would be without my therapist. But having therapy and a mood stabilizer helps, because it in addition to the hormone changes. And contrary to popular belief, taking hormones doesn't actually cause mood swings. In fact, like, my mood ever since I started estrogen has been like very even keel. And it's because and this is why I take the tablets instead of the shots. Because the shots you take like once every 2 weeks, and and what causes mood swings are fluctuations in hormones. For either side, whether it's testosterone, estrogen balance, it needs to be in a balance. And obviously, for me, the right balance is estrogen. Estrogen being the dominant hormone, and it's it's been way more effective, moving forward with my life, and going through therapy, and stop lying to myself, and stop living in denial, and actually move forward with my the most important thing I needed to do in my entire life, that I was ignoring for 14 years. I knew I was trans 14 years ago, and I did nothing about it for 14 years. I went through depression, I went through drug addiction, I went through alcoholism, I went through homelessness, I went through workaholicism. I guess, because I was going to college, and I was at the college 12 hours a day, in the practice room for 4 hours a day, in addition to my 25 plus unit course load. Like, I'm an SSRIs, and they helped me quite a bit. Yeah, I'm glad that they worked out for you. Everybody's different. Your mileage may vary, and it's between you and your doctor, and your own body and your own chemistry, and what your body needs. It's very technical, and it's very specific, and it's why we have professionals who know how to work with you. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard. I mean, I still lie to myself about some things, probably. The thing is like, the things that I know about, I know I'm not lying to myself anymore. But then there might be things that I don't know about. But honestly, right now, there's too many things going on in my life that are very real and very present for me to be thinking about, like, imaginary ghosts. So, like, the biggest obstacle right now, and the biggest cause of my depression, is just the unknowns about applying for SSI. And then obviously, things will be a lot different once SSI is approved. And there's a couple things that need to happen with my transition still, which involves a lot of paperwork, because I need to do the legal name and gender change, which is going to, it's really frustrating. I need my case manager to help possibly fill it out entirely for me, because they ask you to write your dead name so many times, and I don't know how to express how painful that is for a trans person, at least for me, to have to be reminded of my dead name over and over and over. And it's fine if I hear other. I'm not going to say my dead name anymore. I used to, but I don't say it anymore. And obviously, it's not hidden information. If somebody really wanted to find it, they could. But it's not, no, it's not necessarily about doxing. It's more about, like, I don't associate with that identity anymore. And when it's somebody else who has that name, it's easier, because, like, I can attach that name to that person, and I can say, oh, that's that person. That's not me. And it's actually helping me. Like, when I meet people with that name, and I can just say, like, oh, that's their name. It's not my name. And I can say, oh, I'm Rebecca. Okay. But it's still hard. I lived with that name for the majority of my life, and I've only been living as Rebecca for a year and 4 months or so. Like, a month before, like, I actually, like, I need to, like, give myself a lot more hope, because my transition has gone very smoothly compared to what a lot of people have to go through. I only obviously I did have to go through 14 years of hell and denial and all that. So it's like, yeah, you can factor that into it. You could say that, but, like, once I started talking to my doctors, and, like, begging them, and informing myself, reading up all the information, being very educated on what transitioning, like, the realities of transitioning mean. I need to turn off the stove. I'll be right back. Maybe he needs a little pepper. I got some poached eggs with spinach. Get some pepper on there. Fresh pepper. Fresh pepper. Fresh pepper. Okay. Just don't want to knock anything over. Okay, and like obviously I forgot what I was talking about, but what popped into my mind just now, it's like I understand the need for all the paperwork and for all the process because they want to make sure that I'm not trying to do this to commit fraud or anything like that, because that's just people do stuff like that where people like change their name to commit fraud, and they want to make sure that that's not happening, and obviously that's not happening. This is for my gender transition. But like I even detaching myself from my previous life, basically. It's like the person died, okay? Like that person who I was died, and a lot of people in my life who are associated with that person are no longer in my life either. And maybe not a lot of people, but maybe a lot of people. But I'm trying to struggle to figure out like a new dynamic and who Rebecca is. I'm taking a few letters off my last name too. So Lauren wasn't the name I was assigned at birth. So it's Rebecca Sophia Lauren. And I really like that name, but I have to tell you, I lived with that old name, that dead name, for 31 years. I was like 31 and a half years, because I started transitioning when I was like 31 and a half. Sounds really tough. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I was going. We're on the same page, Cranky Monkey. Yeah, it'll eventually pass. This too shall pass. But there will be a time where saying, because I have to tell you right now, there is a very real struggle with me trying to attach my brain to my name, to Rebecca, and also to she and her pronouns. It's not as easy as people might think, because maybe on the outside it looks like we're like super confident, like trans people are super confident about our gender and our pronouns and about our name, but it's really hard to make that mental click, because it's like on the tip of my tongue is my dead name in my mind. Like I'll refer to myself and I'll almost call myself by my dead name, but not quite. Like I never actually say it in my brain. It's really weird how to describe it, because it's like it's not happening, but it's happening. Like it's weird. It's weird. But I'll get through it, and time will make things a lot better. Obviously, life doesn't become perfect. Like I still have the same financial problems, but I have great people in my life who are very supportive. I have a case manager who's fighting for me. I have a therapist who's fighting for me. I have a doctor who's fighting for me. I have an other doctor who's fighting for me, and a psychiatrist who's fighting for me. I have a dad who's fighting for me. I have I have some family members who are fighting for me, and I have friends who are fighting for me, and I have acquaintances who are fighting for me. I have pen pals who are fighting for me. There's so many people fighting for me. Okay, I need to try to figure out how to attack. And let me move the king over. So what I guess, even though there's like very small chance of an attack coming through that diagonal, it just feels like I need to have the king safe. And it looks like my opponent, I'm sorry, Evil T, I talked for a while. I think Evil T left. So if anybody else wants to play, I can make a new challenge. And it was just a really difficult position. That was definitely a critical position. Although sometimes I think just moving the king into a slightly better spot, there might not always be like a very like specific route. And sometimes you just need to adjust your pieces, I think. I think I'm trying to start to learn that. Not to just always be attacking or always be like thrusting your pieces, you know? You just sometimes just like shift pieces around and make them slightly stronger. I mean, it probably wasn't the best move, but... Ah. Well, good luck, have fun. Alright, let's go, Cranky Monkey. You're a cranky little monkey. So there's an imaginary monkey that me and my dad call our... we make a lot of jokes about. There's an imaginary monkey that lives in our house named Chip. And he's a bit of a sexual deviant. He sleeps up on like a little canopy in the living room. Like he has like this little canopy, but he has like a little like stuffed animal bear that he humps, and he wears a tutu. um and it's like sometimes he just like laughs, and it's yeah, I don't want to get into the whole depth of Chip, because there's a lot of jokes. It's basically, it's a really crude. My dad likes really crude jokes. Like says really crude things. I don't really like it. I don't like crude things, but it's I humor my dad. Like if he wants to make silly, crude jokes, then they're funny. But like, I'm not gonna make jokes like that. Like sometimes just people make me uncomfortable with the kind of humor they have. Oh, this is actually really good. The pepper really helped, I think. It's like spinach and poached eggs. Hmm. I don't like it. Like I don't know if I want that. Then let's go. Let's just do it. Why not? Cranky monkey. Just not spanky monkey. Jeez. It's like We don't want any of that. It's no good. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba. Yeah, it's a weird thing where like when you live with something for so long, like depression, it's like you kind of like live with it. I know I'm so used to it. Oh, what have I done? Well, that would have. What have I done? Why did I do that? Now I have to lose a lot of tempo because you spared me. You spared me my blunder. On Queen G3, I'm B3, and hey Abano, Abanobaga, Abanobaga, how are you? Mm. I'm just trying to like not really spend too much energy right now on my stream. I'm so maybe it's better this way. I don't who knows. Like sometimes like working harder is like worse than using bare minimal effort. Like I honestly don't know. Like okay. Just Abanob Abanob Abanob. Yeah, it's just like weird how sometimes life is like people say work smarter, not harder, and I don't, obviously I don't think it's that simple because sometimes you really do need to put in a lot of work. And sometimes like I think it goes deeper than just like harder not I mean smarter not harder because it's like I think there's such a thing as like refined laziness. Like where it's like you get so good at something that it just becomes so natural that you don't have to put effort into it. And I don't know, it's there's like four stages of mastery in any kind of in not just music but I learned this from studying music. One of my professors, my applied music teacher, my professor, um Dr. Anderman, he in applied music he and it wasn't he didn't make this up. It was like it's from somewhere, I don't know. But like it's the four stages of mastery where you go where when you start something, and it's not just music, it's any skill that you learn, like chess or public speaking or writing or programming or whatever, is you have first you have unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence, which means that you don't know what your mistakes are. Like you make mistakes and you don't know that you're making mistakes. That's the very first stage. Then after after you get to the next stage, and it could be like within seconds or it could be years or whatever. It's not about time. It's like stages. It depends on the subject and it depends on your own way of learning and all that stuff. But the second stage is conscious incompetence, which is you're aware that you're making mistakes, but you're still making mistakes. Like, but you're aware of the mistakes. that you're making. And so you can actually start to work on things at that point. Like you can say, oh, I made a mistake here. And then you could say, okay, well, how can I improve it? And obviously, you usually need help of like somebody who's better than you or some kind of other resource. Like you usually get like a mentor to like show you. But didn't quite read this tactic through, but I think it's okay. But after that, you get to what's called conscious, and it doesn't, it goes from unconscious to conscious and then conscious again, and it's conscious competence. Hi, you're knighted. Good to see you again. So after unconscious, you have unconscious incompetence. And then after that, you have conscious incompetence. Then you have conscious competence down upon here. And then you have, yeah, I love playing chess. Chess is a large portion of my life. It's not the only thing in my life, but it's a very significant part of my life. It's been in my life throughout multiple stages of my life at different times, good and bad. It's gotten me through the worst times of my life. It's gotten through me some of the best times of my life. Right now, it's getting through this part of my life where I'm moving forward with my transition, and I'm trying to move forward into some kind of professional career at some point. Whether I don't know when that's going to be or what it's going to look like, but there's going to be something involving everything that I've worked for my entire life, utilizing music, utilizing chess, utilizing writing, utilizing, programming, whatever. Something's going to happen in order to build a career. And I don't know what it looks like, but I know it's going to exist. Programming is a really weird subject for me because I love programming, but I'm really bad at it. And I'm also not good at it. It's like, but yeah, so so you have unconscious incompetence. You don't know what mistakes you're making. You're kind of blissfully unaware. Then you're in conscious incompetence, where it's like you make mistakes, but you know that you're making mistakes, and you might even know what those mistakes are, and so you can start to fix it. And then you reach a point where you're at conscious competence, which is where most people stay for the rest of their lives, because the last stage I'm going to get to in a second is very rare. Very few people get to this last stage, but the third stage, conscious competence, is where you can perform really well at something, but you have to be constantly focused on it and constantly aware of what you're doing. You have to constantly be looking at everything. Like you have to be like so in the zone at all times. And most people, this is the most realistic expectation for most people. And it's nothing wrong with it at all. There's nothing wrong with conscious competence. It's very doable, and most people will love it. It's where you're very competent in something, but you have to always be working at it, and it's fine. But then there's few people in the world, people like Magnus Carlsen, people like Bobby Fischer, people like Mozart, or like Coltrane, John Coltrane, or Miles Davis, or all these like top people in jazz, and all these top musicians, all these top performers. And it's different than most people. Like they're just like superstars. Like they reach a stage that's known as unconscious competence, where they don't even need to think about it, but they can perform at the very top level. And obviously, if they do think about it, they can reach a potential theoretical fifth stage, whatever it is. Like maybe there's a conscious supreme being. I don't know if there might be an extra stage after the fourth, but I don't think anybody's ever reached it. Because once you reach that last stage, the difference between because I think it's actually better for you to rely on your natural ability at that point, because you programmed your body and your brain to be able to do it in a way that's deeper than conscious thought. That because subconscious thought is the strongest part of our brains. I mean, I can't quote you like a research paper on that, but from what I've read about neuroscience is that, I mean, if you really think about it just really simply, like the stuff that we do that we're best at, like our heart beating or breathing, all the stuff that just comes naturally to us that we don't have to think about, those things perform really well. Like we're really good at breathing. We're really good at um we're really good at just like doing our natural things, that require no conscious thought. So I think at that stage it's in your best interest to not use your conscious part. Obviously you will use your conscious part to try to improve, but I think during the performance, like if you're a musician and you're at that stage, you need to be you need to like let your subconscious control you at that time, because if you start using your conscious processes, it's too slow, because your subconscious is, you like at that point, these are like the John Coltrane's and like the Wynton Marsalis and like all these top performers, like top performers, Magnus Carlsen's, like at that time, like you're going to be using your conscious effort outside of your performance to try to improve, but when it's actually time to perform, you utilize those synapses that you've connected through a lifetime of training that just becomes so naturally that it's like breathing. And I feel like there's a huge importance to that if you'll actually slow yourself down at that point if you use your conscious mind, because your conscious mind has too much noise. It's too slow. And obviously it's still really fast, like compared to most things, but compared to your subconscious, it's really slow. Your subconscious is like immediate, like it's instant. It's like reaching out with your hand to grab something. It just happens. But most of us will never reach that point. Like, I don't know. I'm at a point with my music where I am like really out of training. Like I have not trained for at least 2 years. I've practiced, I was practicing my flute earlier today. Just playing some like, long tones and doing chromatic scales and playing some scale patterns, and I've been doing stuff like that, but like that's not really like, that's just like bare minimum maintenance. It's not really bringing me to where I want to be with my music. I wish you a happy life. Bye. Okay, bye. Oh no, I lose the piece. I was already down a pawn too. Only thing that interests me is chess programming. Chess programming is really interesting. It always fascinates me. I've always enjoyed the idea of looking at algorithms, like chess algorithms, and it still fascinates me, but I don't really understand how they work. I've tried looking at the source code for Stockfish, and like I said, like I'm so bad at programming that it's really hard for me to understand code. Like I can read it, I can navigate it, but I don't really know what it's doing. In any language, C++ is the one I have the most experience with. I understand C++, and I know how to learn more. I know how to read the documentation for libraries, because C++ is a language where you're not just using the language, you're using libraries. And that's what I think a lot of people who criticize C++, they're trying to treat it like it's supposed to be an all encapsulated language, which some languages, like, some interpreted languages, I mean, even so, even like most languages have libraries, like Python has libraries. But Python, people like to think that that programming language is just like an arbitrary decision, but it's not. Because using an interpreted language like Python sometimes is extremely slow and extremely inefficient compared to using a compiled language like C++. Like if you want to make a web browser, it's going to be better in C++ because C++ is going to be compiled into machine language, and it'll be accessible from everything will be accessible like immediately, or like as immediate as you can be. Um, but no, like that's exactly what I'm saying. Is C++ is still used today. C++ is used in pretty much every application you use. C++ is used, Chrome is in C++. The Chrome browser, Firefox browser, lots of pretty much like every video game you've played uses a graphics library that's built on C++. Everything like C++ is one of the most efficient languages. It's not the most efficient hardware wise, but factoring in the effort required, because obviously programming in machine language or assembly is the absolute most efficient, but you have to actually be like, we're human beings. We have to actually be able to work with the code. And I'm going to lose here. Binary code could be converted to all kinds of words. Yeah, exactly. It's because their addresses, like when you have and usually use hexadecimal, and it gets converted to binary later. Gigi, if I'm always up for another game, or if somebody else wants to play, I'm always up for a game. Otherwise, I'll go back to tactics. I was just really chilling with some tactics, but the thing about hexadecimal is that or binary is it's just an address in memory in like your in your CP in your hard drive in your ROM and RAM, or whatever. Okay, if anybody wants to play, I'm just gonna throw out a challenge just in case, and then if not in a short amount of time, then I'll go back to puzzles. I really enjoyed our game, Cranky Monkey. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm sorry I played so badly, but think about a 1 terabyte flash drive. The tech is really, yeah, it's insane. There is like programming at its very core. So the biggest thing you need to understand is C++ is what's called a high level language, and so is Python, and so is Java. And high level just means it's more abstract and readable in human terms. And so you're not directly manipulating the hardware. But these languages are built on lower level languages like assembly and C or other lower level languages. And it all gets converted to binary at the end. Like it gets converted to machine code, which gets converted to binary. That's the only thing that your hardware knows is 0 and 1. That's all it knows. But you can use there's a lot you can do within that 0 and 1. And usually we go higher and higher. Like from the very bottom is 0 and 1. Actually from the very bottom it's just electricity, but at the very bottom it's 0 and 1. And then the next level up is we convert that to hexadecimal instead of binary. So we'll say like 0xa or 0x like 1a. And if you're really fascinated, if you really want to learn more, there's a number systems are like like having like a base, like we have a base 10 number system, the decimal system, or like we have a base 10 system. It's all based on 10, which means it's really fascinating once you read, like, I don't know if maybe you do, but like it's a mathematical thing where it's like binary, the way binary works is it's a base 2 number system. You can have a base 3 number system, you can have a base 4 number system, base 5. But basically, if you know exponents, like, so if you look at the rightmost number, like, if you have 4 digits, or we'll just say 4 bits, 0, 0, 0, 0. And so if you say the rightmost number is 2 to the 0 power, which is 1. So if you, and also because it's base 2, you could either use 0 or 1. So if you have 0, 0, 0, 1, that means you have 0, you have 1 times 2 to the 0, which is 1. So you have 1 times 1, which is 1. And then the number next to it, the number to the left, is 2 to the value, whether it's 0 or 1, is 2 to the first, which is 2. And so if it's a 0, it's 0 times 2 to the first power. If it's a 1, it's 1 times 2 to the first power, which is 2. And then in the third digits is 2 to the third power. I mean, 2 to the second power, which is 4. And so you have 1 times 2 to the second power. And then the fourth bit, the one on the far left, is 0 or 1 times 2 to the third power, which is 9. Or no, 2 times 2 is 4, is 8, not 9. I was thinking 3 to the second power. Which would be a great, if we could stabilize electrical charge, I think in the future, base 3 and 4 might be applicable. Oh yeah, exactly. It's the thing is like in the end, like we don't really need more than 0 and 1, but having a ternary having a ternary system, I don't know, who knows, with quantum mechanics and quantum computing. I'm just gonna get back to chess puzzles, so we're just relaxing with chess puzzles. It's very fascinating stuff. Like, the whole time I've been like cut off on stream, huh? Yeah, I'm being really lazy today's stream. I apologize. I'm just really putting in minimal effort today. It's just like very minimum effort. Yeah, who knows what'll happen with quantum computing and what kind of changes will happen because of that. What kind of new programming language will arise. The whole entire way we think about computing needs to change, because obviously right now we're kind of stuck in like the 1800s, because modern computers are basically based off of the same technology and algorithms that we've had since the 1800s. And it works. It works really well, and it just gets faster and faster as hardware improves. But with quantum computing, I think at first we're going to try to use the old ways, but like I think that we really need to adapt and just completely build computing from the ground up. It's really kind of a fascinating topic. I know absolutely nothing about quantum computing. All I know is that the real application is that of security. I mean, obviously speed is a huge thing, but like security is a big deal, because you can have like a salted, hash, that's an encrypted hash key to like a password or any value really. But if somebody has that key, they can look at it. And so, like with quantum computing, if anything is looked at, because at the quantum level, if we observe something, it changes. And so with quantum computing, you would be able to know if somebody accessed your file, because the act of observing it changes it. And obviously, who knows whatever is going on with quantum computing and how they're actually managing to deal with that. Who knows? It's like crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. It's like, we're working on like, like neural transplants with like neural devices that can, get a computer chip in your brain to like help with like depression or like, like schizophrenia and like a whole bunch of neural diseases. It might even be helpful for people like me who are on the autism spectrum. Who knows? I obviously would not want to volunteer for something like that while it's still in early stages. Like, it sucks that in order for progress to happen, we have to experiment, and bad things can happen in that process. So I'm not willing to throw my life to the throw my life to the whims of science. Like I'm just gonna stick with what we know. And like, I'm not, I am on the spectrum, but I'm very high functioning compared to many people. But in the areas that really matter, it seems to be very lacking. I have like some huge problems. Yeah, and sometimes like I forget, like, things seem really bad right now and things seem really depressing and stuff like that. But really, like, I can't go back to the way things were before, because the reason why things seemed so good before was because I was oblivious to the problems. And so obviously things seem bad because I'm aware. And being aware means that, like, it might be really bad and hopeless, but it does mean that I can, just like I was talking about earlier, it's conscious incompetence. Once we know that we're making mistakes, we can actually make changes and fix it. And so that's why I'm holding on for dear life. Because I can see it. I can imagine a time where my life can be better. I can imagine a time where things are not quite as terrible as they are right now, at the very least. Like, just because things seem really bad right now doesn't mean it's going to be like that forever. And that's what's giving me hope. And I don't think it's very unrealistic to expect things to start working out for my life. I do want to achieve some very great things, but those things take time and luck and a lot of factors that are not in my control. But there are some things that are very much in my control, and I'm doing them right now. Like, literally, well, it's in my control to improve at chess. Like, so literally right now I'm controlling my chess destiny. But I need to fix the layout again. But like but right now I'm working with my therapists. My therapist and my case manager, and we're applying for SSI, and we're getting all the paperwork and everything needed for my gender transition stuff. We're getting information on doctors, surgeons for my bottom surgery, for my gender confirmation surgery. We're doing so many things, and it's moving forward even though it doesn't feel like it is. And I keep forgetting that. And I keep forgetting that we're actually going at light speed. Like I spent so many years just lost and completely just gone and not moving forward at all. And that's not true either, because I was moving forward. I was doing things. It's just my heart's in the right place, and I trust myself to be able to make things happen. It might not happen as fast as I want it to, but it's Honestly, like I was saying earlier, getting on hormones took me like 3 weeks, which is insane. That's insanely fast. But it's because I spent like 14 years dodging all my doctor's questions about it. Like my doctors were like, "Hey, you mentioned you were experiencing gender dysphoria, or you mentioned that you were transgender. Let's talk about that." And I was like, "No, I don't want to talk about it." I was like, "No, I need to focus on these other things. I need to focus on, getting out of homelessness. I need to focus on I made all sorts of excuses. I did everything except what I needed to do. And then I finally just snapped. And then I got sober, and then enough was enough, so I got sober, and then I went to my doctor, and I went to see therapy. I've been doing all the things that I needed to be doing, and it's hard. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting that I'm doing amazing things right now. Like I'm doing like life-changing things right now. And it doesn't feel like it because it just takes so long, and it's so painful, and it's so difficult. But there will be a time where, like I'll have a foundation to stand on, even though it's only going to be like $900 a month or $1,000 a month or whatever it is. It's something. And then I can get on, housing voucher, and get housing that's like subsidized or whatever. And yeah, like, and from that point, who knows what can happen? Like I'll keep working on whatever I can to try to make something work out in my life besides just collecting bare minimum government handouts. I am permanently disabled, but I don't have to be disabled. Like, you know what I mean? Like just because I can't earn a living right now doesn't mean I can't try to build the tools to make it work anyway at some point. But I don't know when that'll be, and until then we need to keep doing what we're doing and at least get a foundation to get me started so that I can have like a guaranteed income for at least 5 years before they reassess. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's every 5 years. But I think like once I have it, it's with me for life. And so if I need it, I can have it. And if I don't need it, then I don't need it, and that's better because I would rather not need it. Because if I was making enough money to not need it and living a life worth living and having purpose and pursuing things that I'm passionate about and care about and that I can do good in, like I can do good for the world. For some reason, I'm not seeing the solution here. But yeah, and like knowing all that stuff intellectually and being able to say it and be aware of it, that's like not the end of the story. Like, because there's like so much more. There's so much more. Because even though I know that like things can be okay, it still doesn't feel okay. And it feels like it feels like I need to constantly be striving for perfection in whatever I do. And it hurts me. Trying to strive for perfection hurts me. And I don't know how to stop it. Because even when things seem to be going well, my brain still tries to find something that's wrong. Yeah, in some ways that's a good thing because that makes me a better musician. That makes me a better chess player. But it doesn't make me and but it does hurt me in those areas too because then the depression and the anxiety start to hurt me in those because then it's like I'm focused less on the performance and I'm focused on my mental health. And it's like if I could play chess without all these problems, I'd probably perform a lot better. And if I didn't have all these problems, I'd probably be able to get super focused on music again and finish my degree, hopefully. And who knows? We don't know yet because COVID is completely just throwing everything away anyway, but we'll figure it out. We'll have to get through this somehow. It might not be the same way as it was before, but it'll be workable. And I need to go to the bathroom, but I would like to solve this. Just like, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back. My pillow. Pillow. Mm, pillow. Oh, my pillow. 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 Mm, mm, oh. Mm, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. You're a pillow. Aww. You're a pillow. That's who you are. You're a pillow. Mm. Oh, you're so nice and you're so comfy. You're just a little pillow. You're a little pillow. Oh. My blanket. You're a blanket. You're a blanket. Hi, blanket. Blanket. You're a blanket. Oh, hey, Dr. Not Carlson. Welcome back. Yeah, you're famous, by the way, Dr. Not Carlson. The video that I put on my Twitter has like 7,000 views now. And I mentioned you in that video. You're in that clip. I put you in a clip. You're in a clip where I'm. Yeah, you're famous. Like 7,000 people have heard your Twitch name. Because you said it's pinned to my Twitter. Because you asked me something about like who hurt me, and I'm like talking about people who are transphobic and stuff. Where's the clip? It's on my Twitter. It's gone from Twitch now because I think I deleted everything from before they did the DMCA crackdown on October 23rd. But I saved them to my hard drive, so I have them. But I that clip I put up on Twitter, so it's at Rebecca Lauren. But yeah, like I don't know if you're famous, but I was just saying that like 7,000 plus people have seen the video and you're mentioned in it. So I was just thought I would let you know. But I hope you've been doing okay. Yeah, I think you were just asking a question. It was somebody else who was being a little bit of a butthead in that clip, but it was future GM who was being a problem. Oh yeah, let's play. Good luck, have fun. Is that you? Joel? I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for the opening I usually go for with this. No, I'm just gonna play the knight. Oh, I need to fix the layout again. There. Hmm. Yeah. So anybody watching, I apologize. I'm having a bit of an odd stream today. It's a little bit more relaxed and a lot more boring than I think I usually would. It's kind of more just like it's almost like I'm not streaming. Like I don't know. I needed to just like have something because I was just working on some chess on my own, and I was like, you know what, I could be streaming now, and because I already feel better than I did. But it does mean I'm going to interact a lot less. Obviously, when people are chatting, I'll be reading it and responding, but it's just kind of means that like I'm not really going to be talking much when people aren't here, which is kind of terrible, honestly, but I'm basically not streaming. Like pretend I'm not streaming. Ugh. Mwah. I'm probably going to end the stream after this game, but this is an intense game so far. Pretty intense. It's pretty intense. Whoops. Oh god. Yeah. GG. Oh no. Well, I ruined the game. I'm so sorry. I was trying to. I thought I had something here. Like, I thought that, like, let me show you. This is what I thought I had. I thought I had takes. Takes. Oh. Or something like that. I thought I had. No, I had thought. Oh, I forgot this. This is with check. That's the biggest thing. If this weren't with check, I would have taken here, rook moved, and then take the king, like the bishop. But for some reason, I didn't realize my queen is hanging, and I didn't have this because the queen could move, and I couldn't. I didn't have like a rook or something lined up because I can't get the rook here. And this is no good. Uh, uh, well, let's keep going a little bit. I just wanted to do some more puzzles. Like let's end on that because that's where we started. We started with puzzles. We're gonna end with puzzles. Just do these until I don't feel like streaming anymore. Until I can go to bed. Actually, no. I should probably go to bed. Just do like a few. Let's just do at least one. Jeez. Okay, let's see. Mm, mm, my pillow. 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 Oh, come here. mm, pillow. Hmm. Pillow's always there for me. What am I not seeing here? Jeez. Mm. Hey, Sacco J Sack. 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 How's it going? I don't know. It's one of those days. It's just like I'm feeling okay. It's just like I'm so depressed. Like, no, it doesn't seem like it. Depression's weird because like depression isn't sadness. Depression is like weird. Like I could be laughing and smiling, but still depressed as fuck. I got my pillow. Oh, pillow. Pillow. Hmm. It's not really a crappy day per se. It's just like I don't really feel like having a whole bunch of energy. If that makes any like my stream has been really low energy today. I decided to stream because I didn't really want to just do chess alone off stream. I was feeling really kind of super depressed, like sad depressed. And I started my stream and I've already talked to a few people, so it feels good. It feels good having someone to talk to. You know, it just brings you outside of all that. It's really nice. But I'm getting sleepy now, and it's a weird time to be sleeping. It's like almost 6 in the morning. Like, well, it's okay though, but it's just weird. I the only thing I'm thinking is like, it's like I want to solve this one before I go. Oh, don't use. Yeah, yeah. PogChamp got banned because the person who was PogChamp did a messed up thing. And that's kind of why I'm been depressed lately, is because the world is just, especially like the United States, is just a tire fire. Like, honestly, like, how did we get to this point? And like, we know exactly how we got to this point, but it's just like nobody wants to see it. The people who are doing the worst don't want to see it. Like, it's a weird place. We're gonna get through it. You know, next silo, we're gonna get through it. You know, we're gonna endure. You know, I have to believe that we can because, you know, at the very least, I can endure. I can get through this. This is like just one small part of my life. And the other end of it is going to be beautiful and amazing. And I have to keep going. I have to keep fighting. 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 This theme. Okay. But we've reached the end of the stream, unfortunately, for all of you. So it's time for pillow time. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed your stay. I hope you enjoyed the stream. It's pillow time. Okay. Don't bite the pillow. Don't bite the pillow. The pillow. Oh. But it's this time that we that this things are pretty bad sometimes in our life. And it feels like nothing is ever going to get better. And it feels like no matter how much we try to get ourselves out of it, that we just keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper. But we move on and we keep studying chess, and we keep pushing and pushing and pushing until we get through it. And make sure to show Lele your love. She's an amazing human being. Bye.